Welcome to another edition of In the Trap with Mike and Manny. Happy holidays to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. You see, we're both in a little festive mood. We didn't even plan this, but I got the red hat. Shout out to Connecticut Impact. And Manny's got his green hat going on.
Better. Shout out to Gaetano Amara. Better Homes and Garden. He's opening his fourth office. Crazy.
Nice. Nice. That's big. Fourth office. Wow. He's all across Connecticut now, no?
Yeah, Monroe, Newtown, Bridgeport, and Southbury, I believe, is the newest office.
Nice. Good for him, man. So
Yeah.
do you have enough turkey? I saw you had a mom's giving, you had a
Oh my
friendsgiving, you had a
gosh.
Thanksgiving, bro.
It was crazy. We did the Friendsgiving together, and then I had the kids on Thanksgiving Day. I did a little something with them, and then my mother couldn't make it on Thanksgiving, so she did her mom's giving, which was Saturday, and I have so much food in my fridge, and I'm full.
You're stuffed. You're stuffed.
I'm
You're ready for
stuffed. I'm
Christmas,
stuffed.
huh?
Yeah,
You
I'm
got the
ready.
decorations already.
I got the decorations up. The kids wanted to do it, and I had some time, so we did it. And I'd rather be ahead of it than behind it. So I'm ahead of the ball this year.
Nice, beautiful. You start shopping too?
I have the cart ready. I got the Amazon cart ready. I looked at some stuff over the weekend. I like to look at things in person, so I got a couple trips coming up, and I'll see what I can peg off during those trips, and if not, I just click add to cart and send it.
That's it. That's it. That next day shipping is everything.
Crazy Cyber Monday.
Yes, sir. Well, today we have a little bit of a different guest. No, well, not a little bit of a different guest. I guess
I think they're
we've
all
had
different.
entrepreneurs on before. Yeah, they're all different, right? All our guests are pretty unique. And Alisa is no different. She has a few things going on. We were just talking briefly, some new things coming up, some things that she's been working on for a few years. And without further ado, here's Alisa from Alisa's House of Salsa.
Hello.
Welcome, Alisa.
She's got props.
You got the maracas.
Oh heck yeah! Because this is the first time I'm on with you, so I've got to come with my maracas. Because
Is that like your signature? Like people go dance salsa with you and you bust out the maracas all the time, or what?
Yeah, it's funny because people see me walking down the street and they won't even say hi. They'll be like, they're like, that's you, right? And I'm just like, yes, that's me. It's like a hidden language. So
they'll start doing a little Susie Q in front of you.
Oh, they'll Susie Q and a left turn and cambio and all of that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Hi,
I know a little bit about salsa.
We took lessons when we were in our early 20s.
Yes. Yes.
Fun fact. Manny was the first person. He's the first person who came to me and was like, Mike, I've been taking salsa lessons down in Latin Rhythms, and they were at East Main Street in Bridgeport at the time, and I lived not too far from there. I said, all right, let's go. And we started going, and we got hooked ever since.
Yeah.
It's the best. No, let me tell you something. It's life-changing. It's 25 years later, and I tell people all the time, I love it just as much as I did 25 years ago. Like every class that I walk into, every class I teach is like a new class to me. So it's all love. It's all love. So Manny, you guys should be professionals by now.
I mean, I am Manny the dancer, but I've got a little rusty, so maybe we can get some refresher courses soon with you.
You got to come to the House of Salsa. Yes, the door is always open. Yes.
Love it.
Nice. Listen, you definitely lose the turn patterns if you don't keep up with it. You kind of forget them. I mean, you never lose that rhythm.
No, never, ever. Look, I have more props. Ever.
Ooh, that's what I think. That's the thing I'm most interested in.
Well, let's start off with the salsa thing, since that kind of started first. You said 25 years ago. Like, is that how did your salsa journey begin?
So it started on a trip to Puerto Rico, which I was not salsa dancing then. So I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So my mom and dad, shout out to mom and dad. They have owned a construction company. So they're general contractors. for over 50 years. And so in the week, so yeah, so I will tell you, as a kid, we didn't have like our average summers. Like I would go to work with my mom in the office. My brother would go to work with my dad, out in the field. But we knew about work. We knew work ethic. We knew I knew my parents like worked hard, but I could see like behind the scenes, like looking back now, the sacrifices that they made for myself and my brother. And, because I grew up in Bethany, and they're like, listen, they're like, you're going to know why we have to get out there and work, hard. We want you to get some of the best education. We want you to live on a cul-de-sac. And I'm like, and I'm just a kid. And I'm just like, okay, that's okay. But now I completely appreciate them, and they're amazing. So shout out to my parents, who really, honestly, I got the entrepreneurial, like, gene and the bug. And they just really, really just taught me about, anything, Alisa, that you want in life, you work hard. And because you're a woman and a woman of color, you're going to have to work extra, extra, extra hard. And that sounds, some people might say, oh no, everybody has to work hard. But no, I've gotten into some male dominated industries, like construction, and then the brewing, I know we'll talk about later. But they just wanted me to always, when I walked in a room, to be very, very, very comfortable with who I was, who they were, and just really take, that from them. So how did this start? In the construction field, I took over a portion of their business back when I was in my 20s. And I flew to Puerto Rico. I'll never forget it. The SBA was just like, wow, they go, you're one of the youngest women in the state of Connecticut who is really like working with or owning with your family, general contracting and doing painting and roofing and all that stuff. So I flew to Puerto Rico, did a seminar. But of course, I'm in my 20s. I'm like, well, so while I'm in Puerto Rico, I've got to go to the clubs and the bars.
You just got to.
Right. I'm like,
Rite of passage.
Right, exactly. So I'll never forget it. I walk into the El San Juan Hotel. Yes.
That's our spot. That's our spot. The Fairmont.
You walk in and there's that bar, and then there's that chandelier. Then it used to be called the Chico Bar. That was but they renovated it. So the one that's across. But then back in the day, remember, you walked in and there was a cigar bar. So we call that the Big Willie Bar. And just to take a little, a detour, that's how I learned how to smoke cigars. Because I was there one night, and Avo, God rest his soul, Davidoff Avo Cigars, he was there, and they were rolling, cigars, and it was my birthday, and so I learned how to smoke cigar. Oh, it was amazing, amazing, amazing. So, but I walked into the El San Juan, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on here?
Sure.
Everyone was
everything.
Everything. I mean, it was elegant. It looked like a scene out of a movie. And I'm just like, I'm not coming back to Puerto Rico, literally, unless I know how to do what they're doing. And I go, what are they dancing? They're like, that's salsa. And of course, I came home. I took a couple of classes, told my parents, I go, I love you. But, at 30 years old, I go peace of mind or financial security. And I chose peace of mind because I'm like, I'm still young. I'm like, I love this salsa. I was like addicted immediately. Literally,
awesome.
That was like almost 30 years ago. And so here we are. So that one trip to Puerto Rico changed my life. But now we all have to go to the El San Juan Hotel, because I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing.
We're in.
Yes, road trip.
Where were you born and raised?
Born here in Connecticut, but I grew up in Bethany, so I'm an Amity Spartan grad. Did my entire school years in Bethany. Amity, shout out to Amity. And it's funny because I go back to the high school and the junior high now and teach salsa classes. So I'm like, oh yeah, just like
full circle.
Oh, totally full circle. I'm like walking down the hallways. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like I used to walk down these hallways. Some of the teachers, are still there. But it's great. It was total full circle.
I love
Was
it.
it
I love
always
it.
salsa? Did you always specifically dance salsa, or were you like classically trained in other
Oh yeah,
dances?
I know absolutely. I tap jazz ballet at the age of 3. So I've always been like lights, camera, action. So I think that's why I'm like animated.
You?
Not me. No, not Alisa. No, but and shout out to Gloria Jeans. That's literally, I started in West Haven. And I did that. I was in competitions.
Wow.
danced at the Waldorf Astoria like when I was like 5 or 6 or
Wow.
yeah. So I literally was classically trained, and my father goes, he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm so happy that all those that money that went towards tutus and tap shoes and shit. He goes, I'm glad. He goes, he's like, I'm really really happy that didn't go to waste. He goes, you put it towards something, and it's great
Such a
because
father statement.
yeah, oh yeah, he's like tap shoes and tutus. I'm like, yeah, Dad.
That's great.
But no, it was no, it was amazing. Complete like full circle. And it was and I even danced in college. Like I took like a dance course, one dance course. But I was always missing something so that when I did start the salsa, when I came home and told my parents, I go, listen, love you guys, but I'm gonna go on my salsa journey. Um it was just something that I was missing in life. I needed to dance again.
So did you ever have like a solid partner? Like I know they have like salsa congresses where people perform and everything. Did you ever have that one partner where you put on a show?
Oh my gosh. So Freddie Ramirez, shout out to him. He was my first salsa instructor. And I will tell you, people were like, here comes Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Like literally. We would go into New Haven like clubs because that's when salsa was not even salsa here. Like it
Yeah.
was like we
Right.
kind of like there was a buzz. Obviously there were people dancing salsa, but we were doing like shows like costumes and going to
Right.
Yale and I was at Southern and we're putting on shows. So no, Freddie Ramirez, I just, that was my first dance instructor, first dance partner. And because I had the dance training, I was able to keep up and I knew how to perform. So that's
Mm.
why they call
That's
us
awesome.
French and
Your
Gerard.
styling.
Oh, I was styling. Oh my God. Yeah, the ladies styling. They're like, how do you move and do all the hands? I'm like, I go, it just comes. You just have to, we call them the jazz fingers.
There you go.
Jazz hands.
Jazz.
So when and how did you decide that like, oh wait, I could turn this salsa stuff into a business? Like when did you make that leap?
So because of my like the entrepreneur like the background of like the business being right I want entrepreneurs or people to hear this. When you have an idea or a vision, um think outside the box. I read a book called Blue Ocean Strategies, and that book changed my life because it's about people who take something and they just don't look at it on the surface. Like I think outside of the box, that's in the box, that's outside of another box, that was in a box. I ripped the box open and then I thought outside of the box. So my point is to folks who are out there who are thinking about like following a passion. Yes, absolutely. One of the best books. There you go, Manny.
Adding it to
Literally,
my cart.
please do, because it will give you in life a purpose of just not thinking on the surface. So I knew when I was doing, those performances, I said, you know what? I go, I have a dance background. I'm a performer. There's not a lot of people who has like dance studios,
Sure.
Right.
who's doing this. But
Especially
then
Latin.
exactly. And I'm like, but is there a need for this? And people, you have to understand something. You have to create that lane. You have to
Yeah.
create things that are not out there because that's when your mind and your brain can go, there's something here. And I said then I said there is something here. I said there's a need for people to identify with different cultures. And but I will tell you where the point was. I was at the Southern Connecticut State University, and I was working through the Student Cultural Center, and I said, let me try this. And I went, and my first class, I had like 87 people. I'll never forget it. And that's when I knew at that point, I said, there's something here. I just have to create it. And that's when I went, and looked for a dance studio. First dance studio was on Chapel Street, second floor, across the street from the bus stop.
I remember that.
Yeah, they called us the moving billboard of downtown New Haven for 15 years. And it was a blessing because people just looked and they were like, we got to go check that out. And so we had a lot of, walk-ins. But that's when I knew that I was, that my vision and my passion, it was something bigger that was coming.
And was it like a, go ahead, man.
That reminds me of watching like the Bruce Lee documentary and watching his upbringing, right? Where he was at California and he went to a college campus and he started practicing on the green and doing karate, and people just started gathering, right? Like if you have that vision and you go for it and you put it out there, right? You're going to see people show up.
Absolutely.
I remember like it was yesterday. I called Mike and I was bored at work and I was watching reels on Instagram and I'm like, I just finished watching this podcast and this podcast. We've been doing fun stuff for 25 years. Like, let's do a podcast.
There you
And
go.
we literally didn't, like we were talking not too long ago, we didn't have a rhyme or reason to it. And we've had insane success to the point where now when I go out somewhere, they're like, oh my God, great podcast. Or, hey, I love that episode. Or I love what you guys are doing. Like, I'd love to jump on there. Like I saw you at the Owl Shop a couple weeks ago and I'm like, hey, I'd love to have you on the pod. And then we start talking about when you stumbled upon a night, Wednesday nights at Bottegas. And it's like the old saying, right? If you build it, they will come.
Right. Exactly. Just build the foundation, build some doors so people can walk through and you're there. But you're absolutely right about your podcast. That was like, it's like you were already doing it and people want to hear your story and they want the insight. Like people, it's amazing. Like you said, if you build it, people will absolutely come. And, I just have to thank the community. I have to thank, people that have walked through my doors or maybe not even walked through my doors for 20. I have survived literally three like financial crashes. I've survived COVID. And one of the first things to go is like something that, it's like, okay, that's entertainment or that's, class.
Right.
25 years. I mean, I've survived recessions, everything. So there's a thank you. The salsa god, it's the salsa gods.
Sure.
But literally you literally I'm very thankful. I have had a community that has been amazing.
But I think that's the key with you and you and I go back for a while. And I think the key is that we're still in the community, right? We're still approachable and touchable. And if you walk into the Owl Shop on a Wednesday night, you're smoking a cigar and I'm grabbing a cigar and we chop it up and we talk to Jim. And then, we're associating with Gaetano and we're associating with these people that we know for 20 and 30 years that are still reachable and approachable and in the community.
No, absolutely. You have to keep going back. The people that make you who you are and support you, you have to go back. You have to literally stay connected. And and plus, listen, let's be like some days I just need to go to the Owl Shop. I need to go someplace and just like sit it down and like have a cigar and have a couple of, beers. And maybe a shot.
Talking about beers, I remember reading this label someday and it was like Rhythm Brewing. And I'm like, why does that look familiar? And I went on Instagram and I'm like, holy shit, she did it again.
I know. I will let me, it's the funniest story. No, I literally, people are like, Alisa, what do you do when you're not dancing salsa? I'm like, when is that? I go, when does that even happen? Because I'm like, I'm always dancing salsa. But they go like, what do you do? I go, well, I piddle in Walmart because sometimes I'll like
piddle.
Piddle. Do you guys do
That's
you
a
use
great
that
word.
word piddle?
No,
You
I'm
don't?
I'm
Okay.
intrigued to what I want to know what it means.
Okay, so piddle, it's not like, because some people think piddling means peeing. It's not. So I don't go to
No.
Walmart. I'm not pissing in the aisles.
Yeah, that's not the cleanest place.
Piddle, like if you piddle, you're just
Dilly
you're
dallying.
going, you're dilly daddling. Yeah, dilly dallying. You're just like, I'm walking around Walmart aimlessly, like
Hmm.
just looking at stuff. I'm picking stuff up. I'm putting stuff down. They probably might even think I'm like I'll be in Walmart for like 2 hours. I'll be like,
Hmm.
oh, I think I like that, but I don't. And I'll go from the sock aisle down to like I need some batteries. Like literally, it's just insane. So I piddle and I go, but also I go to breweries. I'm like, I love, my grandmothers were beer drinkers. I go to breweries. So that's what people were like, well, what do you do to relax? Like, do you take time for yourself? I'm like, yeah, I do. I piddle at Walmart and then I go I go to breweries and try different beers. And
So,
that's where that's kind of, where
What
this
so
year
did
did you
you?
start that?
8 years ago. So Rhythm is celebrating its eighth year
And
manufacturing.
how did that all start though? Because that seems like two totally different fields. Because like people who are serious about their salsa, they don't really drink too much. They'll drink here and
Right,
there while they're dancing.
right,
And then
right. They'll
they may
have
drink
their
after.
water.
But
They might drink after. They'll have their right. So the salsa community is not known for like heavy
Drinking.
consumption of alcohol, right?
right,
So but no, I will tell you, my story starts back in the 1970s, where both of my grandmothers were beer drinkers, and both of they drank the little ponies of Miller High Life, and they still sell those, by the way. The ponies, they literally,
sure.
it's insane. But I just remember as a kid, my grandmothers would let me, sip, like take a little sip, and that's how kids went to bed back then. They'd be
Put
like,
it on the
just
gums.
put it right on your gums. That's right. And you would get the best sleep. So I grew up as a beer drinker. So I'd go out with my girlfriends and they're like, ugh, you're drinking beer? They're like, they're ordering like Sex on the Beach and like a glass of wine or whatever they
Right.
were. And I'm like, I'll take a bud. They're like, you love beer? I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, my grandmothers were beer drinkers. So um, I was intrigued about beer and the beer world. I always had a palate for beer.
And is this something that you kind of like home brewed or something or anything like that, or what? Like, what's the
No,
process if you want to make your own beer?
yes. So I'm in Cape Cod and I'm walking around this beer festival and nothing, I noticed a couple of things. There were not a lot of women there. And if they were there, they were not there. They were probably there with their boyfriends or whoever, or just friends. And there were not a lot of people like that looked like me. And it was fine. I mean, growing up in Amity, I'm comfortable in all spaces, but I'm like, okay, but we're in Cape
Sure.
Cod, so I kind of get it. But my point was, I'm like, all right, my grandmother's drank beer. I'm a beer drinker. So my wheels, obviously, then my entrepreneurial wheels start spinning. I'm like, there's a lot of beer consumption in this world.
Sure.
And what the
Oh
hell?
yeah.
I'm like, and women, like, who's doing what in the industry? So driving home, everybody's like, Alisa, why are you so quiet? And I lit within a millisecond. Uh-huh. I turned and said, I go, I'm gonna make my own beer. And everybody's like, oh shit. Like, yeah, like
Let's
it's in
go.
her brain. Let's go. And I will tell you, I came home and I researched the industry. When I ever found out that the beer industry is $114 billion annually, not millions, 114 billion. And I looked, and then I said, and women and people of color were getting less than
I
0.0005.
I was gonna say 0.01 or whatever.
Yes, I'm missing. You know what?
1%.
I missed it. I missed a zero somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And people say, well, why does that matter? And I said, it matters because the consumption, we consume as women and people of color trillions of dollars. And if we don't own the products that we're consuming or for the community, or we're not giving back to the community, then no, it is very important. And so at that point, I said, if I drink it, I'm going to own it. And that, and then that was just the
That's
floodgates opened.
solid. I
So
think one of Jay-Z's best lyrics was, "I'll be damned if I drink Grey Goose if Diddy owns Ciroc."
Yes. Right. And no, right. We exactly. We have to start. There's ownership. Because we are the vessel. Our company is the vessel for employment opportunities. So let us have a factory so that we can employ people that, because we don't even think we even belong in the industry.
it's
People
so
are just
funny.
like, yeah, people are like, you make beer. They're like, oh my gosh. And then, but then it's become empowering. And I'm like, people are like, I'm in a documentary, so I travel the country a lot, and I do meet and greet. So I'm in a film called One Pint at a Time. It's on Amazon Prime and it's on Tubi. Yes, One Pint at a Time. You've got to watch the movie. It is shout out to the executive producers, Aaron House and Brigitte. They were amazing. So I had a crew come and film with me for 3 days here. And when
Wow.
I tell you the power of what came out of that. Yes, that is the documentary.
Watching it tonight.
Thank you. Yes,
Absolutely.
you will enjoy it because it's powerful, because it talks about ownership, economics, and really making sure that there's representation. And so,
No, that's huge. It's funny you mentioned that because we had a Air Force recruiter on 2 weeks ago, Eddie Negron, and he said the
hmm,
same thing about the Air Force, the armed services, that like,
right,
when we were kids growing up in Bridgeport, we didn't know what was possible because no one was coming that looked like us to say, hey, this is what's possible. Like I come from
exactly,
the same place you do,
right.
I just chose a different path and there's like nothing limiting you, you know.
No, absolutely. I said, you know what? My whole thing is, I go, move over King of Beer. There's the Queen of Beer in town. There are women there are women that are making beer, and so I need to have, we need representation. Like I work with the ladies. I love them. The Connecticut Sun. So we're really, really, really close and tight because they're the WNBA. It's not just men playing basketball. There's not just
Sure.
men brewing beer. There's not just men doing construction or owning, being general contractors. But if you don't see this, because you're used to white guys and flannels and beards, even the white guys and flannels and beards, they come up to me and they're like, they fist bump me. They're like, Lady Lager, they're like, this is some cool stuff. They're like, they're like, we're excited because there's too many. They're even saying, they go, it's just too many of us. In the beer industry, this is good. You're bringing a different perspective. You're bringing
100%.
different
100%.
conversations, and these are the conversations that we need in an industry that's $114 billion. So no, it really does matter, because some people go, oh, it doesn't really. They're like, you make great beer. It really doesn't matter if you're a female or if you're a person of color. And I
It
go,
does matter.
it does matter. I go, yes. I go, thank you. We make amazing beer, which is first and foremost. We make really, really, really good beer. That's number one. So if you took me out of the equation, it's really good beer. But
Yeah.
there's a level and a layer that people don't understand when you're underrepresented in something. So no, it is important that people see this conversation that we're having.
I think that's a
Absolutely.
consistency within the trap. Myself and Mike, we talk about it a lot on our show, and we say like we're two kids from Bridgeport that got out of Bridgeport.
Mm,
Mike has his MBA, right? I've been super successful in the car business,
yes,
and we like he still lives in Bridgeport. I live in West Haven, right? We didn't move off, and we didn't like again become unreachable and stuff like that. But
right,
as I'm looking through my all of our episodes, like he said, right, the Air Force recruiter is representing the Spanish community, right? He wants to be in places like Bridgeport, showing
right.
kids what's possible, right? We
Mm-hmm.
were we were with Tito and Scott from Show Off Ink Artistry in New Haven,
Mm,
and you walk in there and it's all culture, right? The lady who
right.
owns it is a female, right? She was on Ink Master. She's Latin. She's from New Haven. She's
Love
still
it.
in the community, right? Reachable. my cousin from Puerto Rico was one of the first podcasters in Puerto Rico who was approached by Dominicans who wanted to make a film and also wanted to do podcasts, right? So it's like, if you don't do it, who will?
No, exactly. And why do it and then leave the community? Like, no,
Don't.
I have to stay here because I need some voices. You know, people need to hear again your story, Mike's story, my story. And they can
Absolutely.
relate. They can really, really
100%.
relate. And so that's my job. Like I said, it's bigger than me and a can of beer. This is about opening doors. It's about empowerment. It's about inspiration. It's about you know, all of that. You know,
Yeah, I
so
love
I
that.
love it. I love it, especially because I'm also a girl dad. So I will
mm,
definitely be telling them, check out this episode, check out this, Alisa. She's doing this and that. She looks like you. She talks like you. She has similar
absolutely.
background. So
No,
no
absolutely.
excuses, kids.
No, there's no excuses. And you know what? I say this all the time, and this hit me one day, and I just kept, manifesting this. If you walk into a room and you're the only one that looks like you in that room, know that you are in the right room, because that's where change happens.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So be comfortable
Absolutely.
about, literally be comfortable about looking around and going, damn, there's nobody in here that even looks like me or resembles me or sounds like me. That's when you stay. That's not when you leave. That's when you stay. The opportunities are endless. We would not be where we are in the beer industry, if we said, oh my God, this is overwhelming, or this is too much. And like,
Intimidated. Yeah.
right, if it's intimidating, and what the hell is my little, like, 6-pack of beer? How is this going to change? How is this going to change the industry? But 5 states later, we're selling in. We're on our
Wow.
4th collab with Sam Adams. I mean, like, the biggest craft beer company in the world, like the top two, Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams. I mean, we hit it hard. I was like, once I got into it, I think the two of you know me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do this. I'm
All the
going.
way.
I'm going all the way. There was no stopping.
How do you get into those rooms? Like you mentioned working with Sam Adams. I mean, that's a major company. How do you
Major.
how do you break down those doors and say, hey guys, I'm here. Hi.
She salsa dances her way in.
I put on my salsa stilettos, and I shimmy and do a crossbody lead right into the door. And that's partly true, by the way. But I will tell you, with the Sam Adams of the world, it was a time, and I'll tell you exactly how we connected. It's kind of serendipitous. We literally, it was COVID time, and that's when everybody was kind of like, you're finding out a whole bunch of stuff, and I inboxed them. And I said, oh, I would love to, I don't know. I was just like, I would love to figure out a way. I'm in Connecticut. You guys are in Mass. I'm like, I used to go to college in Boston, da 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 da. And would just love to find out more information. Now I'm figuring I'm just going to get some kind of like
Auto
random, like,
reply.
okay, exactly. You have reached the office. It's COVID. We're closed, da da da. But like something like that. I thought I was going to get an auto reply. I did. And I got an email that said, you're never going to believe this. We were just talking about your company on our virtual meeting. And I'm like, oh my
Wow.
gosh. So they
Talk about
go,
shooting your shot.
oh, I
That's it.
totally, because I was like, screw it. I'm like, oh, what, I had enough to listen. We were
What
all
does
on.
what does an email cost? Nothing.
Not one thing. Not one thing. They go, we've read about you. They go, and here's the thing. We reached out, like, back and forth. They go, now we have to actually meet you. They go, you reached out to us. We just were on a Zoom, because that's when everybody was doing their Zoom. And
Sure.
we just talked about your company that was female owned. They go, we think that's Rockstar, da 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 da. And I will tell you, we jumped on a call, and it was immediately. the head brewer at the Boston Tap Room in Faneuil Hall. Shout out to Megan Parisi. Love you, girl. Head brewer. She's my girl in Boston. If you're ever in Boston, go drop my name. Go see Megan. And she literally, and it was, we had so much to talk about as female brewers. And they're like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, let's brew. And they're like, let's do a collab. And I'm like, we're like, they're like, let's figure out like, schedule time. And, when COVID, things were kind of like lifting, and went down, brewed our first collab beer. I think it was called Light It Up. And I will tell you, we're a family now. So I'm on my fourth collab. I'll be going on my fifth collab with them this year. And the last one was Ciao Bella. So, and we make lagers because, Boston, Sam Adams is kind of like a lager house. So we've had a lot of fun. But the great thing is we've had so many amazing conversations about women in the industry. Sam Cook is amazing. The head of the corporation. But I went for the big dogs immediately. I'm like, why not?
That's great. I mean, like Manny said, like just shoot your shot, man.
Yes.
You never know what doors are gonna open up, who you're gonna meet, who's gonna have that connection. So
that's
always
right.
just put yourself out there, man. That's incredible.
Exactly, because what can somebody say is what? No, and then you just exactly. And see, I don't take no's too well in business. So I like if somebody tells me no, because guess what? You're going to motivate me, and then
that's the beginning of the conversation.
Oh, exactly. So tell me no. I did, just because I like that, like that
Sure.
that little competition. But no,
Sure.
it's but no, that's how you get to the Sam Adams of the world. That's how you get to the Two Roads of the world. Shout out to Two Roads, and I mean all the other folks that I've collaborated with in Pittsburgh. It's just been incredible. I've got a great beer family. Shout out to East Rock. They are my contract brewers here in Connecticut. So it's all love.
And I understand you're not stopping with beer.
No.
What's next?
Listen. Okay, so you got
and the trap whiskey sounds like a good idea. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there, Manny.
I know, a little whiskey. Well, listen, I will.
So before you go, Alisa, you'll love this. So I drink whiskey and I drink Whistle Pig. Have you ever had Whistle Pig?
Love it.
The master distiller is a female. The master brewer
of
Whistle Pig. And they're in New Hampshire.
We're gonna have to take a road trip. Let's do. We should go on a Whistle Pig.
Oh, my heart!
Road trip. I'll supply the brews, and no, come on, right up
Let's go. Let's go.
No, I think it's so rock star when like Whistle Pig, which is one of my favorites.
Sure.
And they're founders and they're creators and
they're north. They're not south. They're north.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in New England. So,
of course. But when you think of whiskey, you think of Tennessee. You think of like the guy with the big beard who's been doing it for 100 years, and you don't think about North, and you don't think about a female, and you don't. And I mean, it's a newer company on paper compared to some of these guys that have been around for hundreds of years.
No, absolutely, and that's why it's so intriguing. So, and she's an inspiration.
Shout out to Whistle Pig. We're going to be knocking on your door.
Oh, we are. We're coming. When we say we're good, this road trip is going to be a lot of fun.
I love it. So what's next?
So I'm dropping. Well, when you brew, there's either brew or cold brew. So I went into a business venture. So Rhythm Roasting Company is my new baby. Yes. So I've got all of my businesses are like my children. A lot of work. But coming out with the coffee stuff, I'm literally we're dropping an RTD. So we're dropping a ready to drink espresso martini that is going to be launching in 2026, which is what, a month away.
It's
Um,
crazy. 29 days, 30 days away.
yes, and so we're very so I will be looking out for Rhythm Espresso Martini,
That's
and
awesome.
it's going to be amazing. I'm very, very, very excited about that because I'm not really a well. I like coffee, but I like espresso martinis better.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
um, and again, if I drink it, I want to own it. So,
I
having
I think ready to drink is the next thing. I feel like the seltzers came along over the last couple of years, but now
yes,
people they want to have that drink like the espresso martini or the pre-made Manhattan or the pre-made,
yes.
whatever else that's going on, and they want it to be easy, quick, and taste good.
No, absolutely. And I will tell you, I've had samples, we've manufactured this. I can't wait for this to hit the market. And you're right, the RTDs, you come home, sometimes you're tired. I gotta
Absolutely.
get out my measuring glass and
Yeah,
I have Bailey's. And I'm just
absolutely.
like, by this time, I'm just like, I don't know. So in art, literally RTDs, and
I think that's
spirits.
going to be the next big wave over the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's trending now. So we're very, very excited that we're gonna be dropping that. So we're gonna be having
That's
a release
huge.
party. So you guys are
Oh,
invited.
absolutely. We're in.
So very
Mike's internet crashed, so he's going to be right back with us. But I wanted to segue. We were talking when we talked a couple weeks ago on our call, and we were talking about kind of how it started, where I started coming to New Haven and I was dancing, and you were throwing probably one of the best phenomenon nights almost by accident, like as you were saying, right? You were
yes,
saying that Cafe Bottega reached out to you. You kind of wanted to do some type of Latin thing, and you
right.
were like, "Well, I can only do Wednesdays."
I really did. Manny, I was just like, they go, what nights do you have available? I was like, I'm doing something on Monday. I'm like, I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday was up in the air. I go, let's try Wednesday. They go, Wednesday. They go, are people gonna come out on Wednesday? I go, yes. I go, people will come out for like Latin or Latin themed. And did you
Yeah,
see how that morphed? Bottega back was it back room, the one in the
yeah,
alley.
yeah,
It was
100%.
insane.
I
I
walked
would
through
see you
last
every
night.
weekend, every Wednesday. Oh, did you? Oh,
I and I was with a female friend, and she looked over. She goes, "Damn, I remember that spot. Wednesdays, right?" And I said, "That's who's going to be on the show tomorrow." And
that's
and
right.
I remember going there initially and almost feeling like, because at that point I'm a club promoter. I've got Fridays and Saturdays, and I'm doing stuff too. And I'm like, it's almost like an industry night.
It was because I would see you and I'd be like, and it was great because we did get industry folks there. Like you were there, and so you
Hmm.
were bringing a lot of people because you were promoting your own events. But
Yeah,
that's when you needed to come and kind of like
just
let me
let
know here to
loose.
let loose. And so Wednesday was like it became this. It reminded me of like mangoes in like
I
Miami,
a
and
hundred
it
percent
the energy was up two floor. People will be upstairs, downstairs.
downstairs.
The samba dancer. It was insane.
I remember the capoeira dancers, the guys
Yes,
that were doing
Ephraim,
capoeira.
Ephraim,
So
absolutely
I would do like I would bring a date and be like, you got to see this night. And they're
right.
thinking we're just gonna go like, drink. And I'm like, nah, this is like put dance shoes on, like put sneakers on. Like jeans and a t-shirt are fine because like we're going there and we're gonna dance. And if you don't
Yes,
want to dance upstairs, we're gonna dance downstairs.
downstairs. It was magical.
It was
Bodega
magical.
back room. It was. I'm gonna almost say that it was probably one of the hottest.
Ever.
Yeah, it was probably
Ever.
one of the hottest Latin themed. You thought like in the middle of Connecticut, you're in Miami. Like
I
you're someplace else, and it was the energy was insane. And on a Wednesday,
It was one of the best nights that naturally turned into a phenomenon in the state of Connecticut and all the years that I did parties. The only thing I'll ever compare it to that being on a Wednesday night was when Craig G did Room 960, which was
okay,
it was like a back room of a hotel.
wow,
So it was different. It wasn't a nightclub,
right? It was
which
like a
is
back
kind of
room.
how Bottega's was. You
Yeah,
walked into kind of like this bar, and it was small. Listen, it was small.
It was real small. It was not like 5,000 square feet. I don't even think it was 500
I
square
don't
feet.
think so because it was
It was
upstairs, but everything was open.
right. And remember it like
At the
that
balcony
it was the balcony, but the place was packed with the
and the
energy
people.
and the
It was
people. It was
it was great.
insane. That's why I would say when you're doing nights, guys, like people that are promoting, just make sure that when you walk in, that it get the energy. I mean, it was incredible. That Mike, I will tell you, those were the days.
They
Oh
were,
yeah.
and but like, look, right? We met. I was in my early 20s. I was becoming a club promoter. I remember meeting Paul from Double Up Dance Group, who was touring with
Yep.
Cat DeLuna, and then
Hmm.
I met you. I met a whole bunch of people from New Haven, and people were like, "Who is this guy? Like, is he from New Haven? Is he not from New Haven?" I'm bringing people from Bridgeport. Like, I'm with
Yes.
my friends. I'm bringing dates there, and I'm like, yo, this is what it's about. Because 20 years later, I see you at Owl Shop, and I'm like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And we're like, yeah, let's do it.
I'm like, absolutely. No, that's great. It was so good to see you because it just brought back those fun memories of
Absolutely.
like we're
Absolutely.
still doing what we love
I
and
agree.
connecting with
That's
people in
100%.
great.
the community. So
I agree with you
So
100%.
I have a question related to like the salsa scene and whatnot, because
yes.
so again, started dancing salsa and Latin rhythms here in Bridgeport. Then I ended up moving to Central Florida, to Kissimmee, Florida, and I started dancing with Salsa Heat out there.
Yes.
Um,
Know them very well.
which, first of all, that blew me away because it's like some white Italian guy who owns it. So that
Hmm.
was just like mind blowing to me. And then going to some of these sites, the socials and whatnot, I'm meeting Polish girls, Thai girls, Puerto Rican girls, just a whole smorgasbord
All
of different nationalities. And
that's
and
right.
I didn't realize that salsa is like international, like really international. I don't think people from around here realize
Asians
how
are all on
international
it.
Oh
it
my
is.
God, Asia! Oh, I will tell you. You want to go see some serious salsa dancing? You got to go to Asia. You have to. It is. It is I will tell. It's a melting pot of all melting pots of all forms
I
of,
agree.
and people are dancing. There's connection. There's human connection,
Yep.
and no, you're right. Like Mike, I never know who's walking through the doors of our socials. And that's the
Right.
beauty of this. People are dancing salsa. When I go to Puerto Rico, there are more people that are not from Puerto Rico, who
Sure.
from Italy, from
I
Germany.
agree.
I
Sure.
mean, the one common language is that movement on the dance floor. So, I
That
mean,
That
passion.
one, two,
it's
three,
a
five,
passion.
6, 7.
That's right. That's right. That one. I have
Listen,
a
and
piece.
the other thing that blew me away was the fact that like in Connecticut, I feel, and maybe it's changed, but like in Connecticut, I feel like it's an older crowd, like who does salsa, or when you go to a salsa club, it's more older folks. Whereas in Central Florida, like if you're in your
Younger people.
20s, you better be in the salsa scene because that is the easiest way to meet people, and it's fun and it's like low pressure environment because everyone's just trying to have a good
Right.
time. I mean,
Exactly.
is that still the case in Connecticut?
You know
The
what?
salsa scene?
We get a mixture of, we've got like 18-year-olds, but then I've got 75-year-olds. So we get a cross mix of ages. But the
Right.
people like to go and like we'll do. I have a social Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. So I've got a triple
Wow.
header. Yep, triple header this
Wait.
week.
Where are these socials at? Where are these socials at?
So the big one is on Saturday. It's at our studio, the House of Salsa, 506 Blake Street, and I've got a bachata instructor. Shout out to Alan Franco, because that central bachata now is like all the central bachata. That's a huge thing now. So
It
we've
is.
got our instructor coming in. We have a special performance by the Bachata Experience. They're out of the Bridgeport area. So it's at the studio, and we have so much fun because you get classes, you get a performance, and you get again that mixed age. I've got parents bringing their 20-year-olds. They're like, you got to see this. They're like, you've got to get into this. And so, um,
I got
This
Where's
team
the
was
I
Where's the
want to see
studio
this.
again? We need
506
the
Blake
address.
Street. 506 Blake Street. Yes. I'm right upstairs from Dr. Bloom, the podiatrist. Isn't that great? Like, I'm a salsa. I just walk downstairs and knock on the door. I'd be like, oh gosh. I'd be like, do you have any foot cream or something? He
And you mentioned
had
you mentioned bachata. So do you have the same people who take salsa also taking bachata, or is it a completely different group of people who get into bachata?
there's some people that are like straight up salsa heads, and there's some people that dibble and dabble. Because listen, they're like, if we know how to dance salsa and bachata, we
They
could
piddle. They piddle.
right, they piddle. Right. And I love
Hashtag
that. Mike,
piddle.
that is the word for the week. When you're doing your next podcast, I'm going to expect for the two of you to use the word in
I
a
was at
sentence.
Walmart piddling,
Listen,
and I came up with a
you,
great idea.
Exactly. That's how it happens. But no, some people are diehard salsa and they're like, oh, bachata, okay. Some people like they're doing both, and some people are just like they're on that bachata scene. They've got bachata congresses now. They've got
they do.
oh yes.
What?
We got listen. We're gonna go to Whistle Pig. We're gonna do a road trip. Then we're gonna go on a salsa bachata journey. So
Did
Let's
you
go.
see, Alyssa? Did you see an uptick after Bad Bunny released his music video of him dancing salsa?
absolutely.
Love
We
that.
saw younger kids. Oh, we loved it, and we saw
Loved
young
it.
kids. Yes, I'm like, you better go, Bad Bunny. And it's funny because I'm in Puerto Rico often now, like every other month, and I'm doing some teaching stuff over there.
We
But
talked about that.
his residency was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like,
Hmm.
yes, because we were coming in. They're like, just from that one song and who he is, it's like people were coming through the doors, and I would play that song, and immediately the smiles, and
Yes.
people just like they connected. So,
Magic. That kid is magic. 31 years
Benito
old. He's
energy.
literally remolded the world.
oh, he absolutely has kudos to him. I can't wait to be eating my chips and dip, watching the Super Bowl halftime
Oh,
to
Oh,
see what
absolutely.
he is gonna. He's talented. He's an
amazing.
artist. He's a creative. But
Amazing.
he's
He's a
a
visual.
humanitarian, and
Yeah.
that's why we love. And I love what he has done for the culture, for the music, for the dance. So,
I
yeah.
agree.
Love it. Well, listen, we're quickly approaching an hour, so
Ah,
we can talk to you all night.
I know.
But
I know. We're gonna have to do a part two, though. I think
we
we
may
should do
Oh,
have
a.
to.
especially after a road trip.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Or do the
But
podcast from yes, Whistle
we
Pit.
listen. We do plan on doing a pod from Puerto Rico. That is in the works already from a studio in PR. So maybe we could plan all that together.
No, please let me know because like I said, I'll be there in 2 weeks, and I'll be back in February for my birthday, and then for the Salsa Congress in April. So I'm gonna So
Oh,
let me
love
know.
it.
I will join you in Puerto Rico.
When you go to Puerto Rico, where are you doing lessons or helping out with teaching?
So right back where it all started. So we're connecting with the El San Hotel, and if you've ever been to Club Brava, um,
Oh, that's
Oh
great.
yeah.
yeah, a very good friend of mine from college actually owns that. So
Wow.
I'm in it. He goes, Alisa, whenever, just come in, just, you could use the space, so Club Brava
Wow.
would be great for the tourists, like during the day, or even the people that, live on the island, but the tourists that stay at the El San Juan Hotel, Club Brava, salsa classes during, the day. Um, and so that's where we're getting that together. So I'm
Yeah,
very, very excited about that.
I asked because my cousin who was on a couple weeks ago, he's in Puerto Rico and he's a big podcaster. So I'm going to let him know so that he can plug it. And then one of our co-hosts that we had in the beginning, she lives in Puerto Rico. So, we're always trying to connect and network, right? Everyone together. So that way,
Oh,
it's all one
please.
big family.
No, let's do that because, like I said, the salsa explosion. I've never seen it not in Connecticut, Puerto Rico, even. So
Sure.
it's over there. So I would love those connections. The networking, marketing, but also like that human piece, because that's where it comes from. The human,
100%.
and then but this network is amazing. But I'm so proud of you guys. Again, like you said, from just what you've done, from just saying, you know what, we've been doing, we talk. Why don't we just, get a platform? So, in the trap, I literally, just wish you nothing but success. But I can't wait for this road trip, though.
Appreciate it. Listen, do you still do like one-on-one classes, like for someone trying to, get their shines right, or for one-on-one
Oh
for couples or
yes.
anything like that?
Or who's gonna be getting married?
Oh my God. Listen, I will tell you, I have 125 plus first dances under my belt.
Wow.
I love that. Oh yeah, I am up close and personal to two people who are getting ready to spend the rest of their lives together, and I get to see the
Oh,
interaction. So if anyone is getting married and they get you have to call me. So yes, I'm doing private lessons. I'm doing first dances, and kids classes, and just still having a
That's
lot of fun
awesome.
at the House of Salsa. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Just
we
as
got to
much.
go check her out, Mike. We'll have to go to one of the socials and we'll have to get in on the
I'm
classes and
so
go
down.
live.
I haven't danced salsa in a while, but I'm definitely down for that.
Muscle memory,
And
you'll be good.
oh yeah, oh yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Timing might be a little off on some of the turns, but
It's all right.
I'll
We'll
make it
just
through.
one song and you're back. I get
My
you
favorite
coming
one was
back.
always the one where we threw the hand.
And you call.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember what we call that? It was called the ball and glove.
Was
Well,
it the
we call it the
ball and
ball and
glove?
glove.
Okay,
Yeah, you just go like this and one hand comes over and then the turn. Oh
I love
yes.
it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All I know is that I definitely want to try this rhythm brewing. Where can people find that as well?
Absolutely. So you can, well, I'll tell you some locations, but you can go on our website, rhythmbrewingco.com, and go to the rhythm finder and just put in your zip code and it will pull up locations. But we're in we're in all Whole Foods in Connecticut and New York. You can find us in like the Amity Wine and Spirit Coastal group. We are in
Yep, yep.
Big Y.
Okay,
We're in bodegas. We're like Happy
love
Hair.
it.
We're we're in a ton of locations. We're in the Owl Shop. We're in bars, restaurants. Find us on tap. And we appreciate
That's
the
awesome.
support. We really appreciate the support.
And we're linking you to Moby Dick's in West Haven, Connecticut on Campbell Ave coming soon.
Yes, no, thank you. I can't wait. Can't wait to go there. Have a lobster roll and some rhythm. So that's gonna be
I
fun.
love it. I love it. Well, listen, we thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you
We know you're a
guys.
busy woman. We love everything you're doing, and thanks for spending a little time in the trap with us.
This was amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Get to that Cyber Monday, whatever we're gonna do, whatever's in the cart.
Will do.
I got a book from you, your recommendation that's in the cart.
Blue
I'm
Ocean
adding.
Strategies.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. But thank you again. This is amazing. It's always good to connect with good folks and people that the two of you, that are doing
Absolutely.
amazing, incredible things for the
This is
community.
just the beginning of us reconnecting. We're gonna
Absolutely.
be following up a lot more often.
No, we have to.
We have to. We have
Absolutely.
some things to accomplish. We gotta
Yes,
try
we
I
some
do.
agree.
brews. We gotta check out the El San Juan.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah. I
yeah,
love that. I
we gotta
love
go
that. You
back.
couldn't
I
even
want to
make that
walk in
up.
with maracas.
I'm gonna bring my maracas to Puerto Rico, and then we're gonna
Love it.
go into the El Salvador. We're gonna all of it. I'm here for all of it.
I
2026
love
is
it.
gonna be interesting
I agree. I
and
agree.
fun.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Alisa. It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure meeting you and getting to know about all the things you've got going on.
Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate the time and the opportunity and the platform to
We
join.
appreciate it too.
We appreciate you.
All right, Mike, you know what they say.
Listen, that was pretty cool. I she surprised me on a couple of things, like the whole construction business. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting that. That was awesome. Again, like I said, I have 3 daughters, so anytime I see a woman in a position like that doing great things that's like male dominated and all that, I love that stuff because that's something I try to share with my daughters. Like,
Sure.
Don't try to tell anyone, don't let anyone try to tell you that you can't do this or that. Like
I
anything's
agree.
possible. So,
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Benito energy. We know.
Listen, and as we always say, we might be toxic.
But our hearts are in the right spot.
In the trap. Catch us next week.
All right.